Hey everybody, welcome to Hills and Gills. If you're new to the channel, my name's Chuck, and I want to thank everybody that's been stopping by, checking out our videos, leaving a comment, giving us a thumbs up, and also all you that's been subscribing. We much appreciate it. We've been growing daily, and it's all because of you all out there. Guys, we have been doing a series on some of our favorite jigs, from brim, white bass, crappie, all the way up. We're getting ready to go after those big river muskie, and I'm getting the jigs ready for that as well, those big toothy critters. And we got a playlist down below in the description if you want to check it out after this video. And we're adding jigs and stuff to it regularly. But today we're going to be tying up what I call the smoking cherry. Right here it is. This is a little 1 16th ounce. It's got that little bait fish type pattern body, and this is a killer when you're out there fishing for crappie, if you're fishing for those big giant bluegill and stuff. And this is super inexpensive to tie as well. Without further ado, guys, I'll quit flapping my big jaws. Let's go tie up the smoking cherry. Okay, let's get ready to tie up this little smoking cherry right here jig. This is a 1 16th ounce jig head, and when we colored it, we actually went with some white. This is a 164 by LA Colors. We done a primer in white, and then we went with LA Colors. This is a 400, and if you get it with a sticker up here, it's got the hardeners in it, making a much harder fingernail polish. Plus, it's like 99 cents a bottle at Family Dollar and Dollar Store. And then you can just hit it with a clear coat of Sally Hansen Hard as Nails, or you can use UV resin on it, whichever one you prefer. And we're going to start out with some red Do It thread right here. And this is an A, and we're going to run all the way back till we feel the click of the tip end of that hook, and then we're going to back up about a quarter of a way back up. And this is an awesome little tie right here, guys, for you crappie fishermen out there. It's a nice little combination. Now, what we're going to be doing right here is we're just going to be going in and picking us out about an inch of this hackle feather right here. And then we're just going to clip him off right there. I'm going to save the rest of this for future ties. And we're going to get this up right here, this little piece of hackle. Clean him up a little bit. Right there's what we're wanting. And we're going to lay that right on top of the shank of that hook right there. And we want it to come off about a half an inch or so right off the back of the bend of that hook, to give it a little bit of that tail action. We're going to do a couple of loose wraps here. I like doing loose ones to make sure he's not going to be twisting on me, where I can adjust him if I need to. And then I'm just going to push down on it, and then I'm just going to run my thread right back down toward the tip of that hook, just like so. When I once get this locked in, I want to run right back up to behind the jig head. And now we're going to add, this is called fox fur. I picked this up at Hobby Lobby. I gave $2.99 for this, and you can tie a ton of small jigs with this right here. It gives it that minnow, like bait fish look. It's got light grays in it, dark grays. It's got long black hairs in it, and it's just really super nice. You can tell where I've been tying a lot of jigs out of this, and I've got a lot more of this synthetic hair to tie more. So we don't need much. I'm just going to pinch off a little piece of this and get my scissors here. I'm just going to lay him down on the table here where I can get a good clean cut on him. Just like so. And then we'll clean him up a little bit. Right there's what we're after. You can see those longer hairs sticking out. That just gives it a little bit of character look, and we just want this to come back down about halfway down on that gray hackle feather there. So I'm going to take my scissors and I'm going to trim him up a little bit more. Right there. That looks real good. So I'm going to lay this right up against the back of that jig head, bump right up against it. I'm going to give him a couple loose wraps as always, the way I do my jigs. And then I'm just going to push down and push forward. That's going to keep it under that collar where it won't slide out when you're pushing forward. And then pushing down, it's going to go around the shank of that hook. And it's going to cover that whole shank and get that hook all covered up. So we're just going to keep pushing down and pushing forward with him. And now all we're going to do now is we're going to just do some tight wraps right up toward that jig head. I want a nice thick red collar on this one right here. So we're just going to go right up to the jig head and work our way right back down toward that hair. And then right back up, and we've got him tied. There we go. This is a nice little minnow look type jig when you're out there, whether you're chasing crappie, those big bluegill. And we're going to give him 5 turns with a whip finish. So we'll seat that in, make sure he's set good. And now last but not least, on this little tie right here, I'm going to use my LOCKTITE super glue. That's what I use on all my ties. If you use Sally Hansen, that'll work well too. But I like his super glue here. It gives that color a nice shiny look. Plus you don't have to worry about, you know, it coming loose or anything like that. You'll lose the jig before it comes loose. Well, guys, there you go. The little smoking cherry little panfish jig. This 1/16 ounce, great for those crappie, big bluegill. And if you got a craft store around you like a Hobby Lobby, I encourage you to check some of these little pom-poms out right here. $2.99, what I gave for it. And you can tie a ton of jigs or flies out of this right here. And it looks absolutely amazing in the water. Gives it that like little bait fish look to that jig. And it is excellent for those big slabs. So guys, if you enjoyed the video, I hope you give us a thumbs up. We would much appreciate that. Subscribe to our channel if you haven't. We got a lot more jig patterns and flies coming down the line. Follow us over on Facebook, Instagram. And guys, stay safe out there on the water. And we'll see you right here in the next one at Heels and Gills.